breaking news on Detroit's east side. One person is dead after a triple shooting in the area of Moffat and Seneca.
Fox 2's Jessica Dubnak joining us live from the scene with more. Just what happened out there?
Well, I got to tell you, this is pretty incredible. We're told that possibly upwards of 100 shots were fired. Now, we're winding back to a little bit ago when they were dozens of people were celebrating a repast, a funeral, a celebration of life here on Detroit's west side at Moffat and Seneca. Right behind me, actually. We can't see the park where they were at, but beyond me, all kinds of evidence markers. We're told that apparently as this celebration of life was going on earlier today, a car pulled up and unloaded gunfire into the crowd. We're told that 3 people were shot. A male victim in his 30s has died from gunshot wounds that he suffered out here earlier today. 2 women were also shot. We're told they are in temporary serious condition at this point. Now, Detroit police saying that they are looking for a vehicle in connection to this shooting, a burgundy Chrysler 200 or 300. It's unclear exactly what make, but definitely a Chrysler, a burgundy Chrysler. And as I said earlier, possibly upwards of 100 shots fired as these mourners gathered out here earlier today. Detroit police say that there were shell casings from 3 different caliber weapons, so possibly 3 weapons involved in all of this, but just a really sad situation. We don't know a whole lot of who the repast was for. We do know it was a 22-year-old that was actually murdered in Detroit recently. There are some rumors that are going around that this is possibly a retaliatory shooting or something like that, but Detroit police are keeping those details very close to the vest tonight. Again, a short recap: 3 people shot here on Detroit's east side. 1 male is dead and 2 females in temporary serious condition. Police are actively looking for those suspects. Remember, it is a Chrysler, a burgundy Chrysler 200 or 300 that they're looking for. So for now, reporting live on Detroit's east side, Jessica Dubnak, Fox 2 News.
Jess, we just had the chief in here speaking with Roop earlier this evening, and one of the things they talked about was this gun violence and stiffer penalties for this. Jess, you hear 100 shots possibly fired, and it's incredible to think that only 3 people were hit.
Yeah, absolutely, Amy, and it does appear that we're hearing some gunshots in the area, so we're going to send it back to you right now.
Get safe, Jessica. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Well, tragic news tonight from Taylor. A double shooting there has left 1 man dead. It happened this afternoon at a home on Cass Avenue. That's near Wick and Party. Taylor police say a man shot his brother and sister, all 3 in their 60s. The brother died. His sister's in critical condition. Police arrested the shooter. We're told he has a history of mental illness. Stay with Fox 2 for updates.
2 persons of interest are in police custody in connection with the death of 15-year-old Lawrence Dowell. Dowell had been missing for 2 days before he was found wearing a mask and gloves in a cemetery on Detroit's west side. Investigators have not released Dowell's cause of death or his connection with the 2 suspects. The police chief says they're beefing up the consequences for anybody involved.
And they need to know that we're not going to tolerate it. And I will bring the heaviest prosecution from the U.S. attorney on a fed level, state level, however I can get you. If I can't get you for the case itself, we'll charge you for the bullets and the guns.
Investigators tell us the police department plans to submit warrants for the 2 persons of interest.
And police need your help finding a missing Rockwood man. Jacob Angelus has been missing since Saturday when he was last seen at the Michigan Renaissance Festival in Hawley. Angelus did not return home later that night and did not make it to work the next morning. Police say Angelus drives a silver Jeep Commander. You are asked to call Rockwood Police or Michigan State Police right away if you've seen him.
Other news this evening, police have identified the woman found brutally murdered on the Cross County Parkway. The nightlife influencer was found dead behind the wheel. She'd been shot multiple times on her way home from work. Now police are searching for whoever pulled the trigger, and they're trying to figure out why. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is live in Inwood with more. Anthony?
Yeah, Sandra, there's quite a memorial outside of Opus Lounge here where Ariela Mejia Polanco worked for several years. A woman just walked up and lit a candle, tells us that she worked alongside her, and she describes Ariela as always being happy. Well, it's the exact opposite now that the nightlife community is feeling. And even though police say this killing was likely targeted, well, those who worked alongside Ariella are now in fear until this killer is caught. There's no small way to say goodbye to someone who was larger than nightlife. Her name spelled out across a floral heart, a big portrait on West 202nd Street, right next to Opus Lounge, one of the spots she worked at. There's only one way people describe Ariella Mejia Polanco.
She's beautiful. She was beautiful, pretty.
Known as Ariella La Langosta on social media, it's that kind of admiration that attracted more than 500,000 followers. Her notoriety as an influencer naturally brought about shock with her death, especially in her community. Cardi B posting R.I.P. Dominican Pretty.
That's what it really hurts, Dominican. Very beautiful. Such a thing like this, very, very sad.
It was Sunday morning at around 8 o'clock. Westchester County Police showed up to a grisly scene on the Cross County Parkway near the Broad Street Mount Vernon exit. Mejia Polanco was found dead behind the wheel of her G-Wagon, shot multiple times. She was headed home from work at Icon, New York in Inwood. The lounge writing in part, "Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out." Police are investigating this as a targeted killing, not random, but investigators are trying to figure out who wanted the influencer dead and why. Mejia Polanco's family tells us the 33-year-old was a great daughter and mother who leaves behind 2 children, ages 13 and 14.
I have a child too, and it's very heartbreaking to see these things.
Kind of frightening though.
Yeah, it's very frightening, it is.
And again, that is what we've been hearing from many of the people we've spoken with. In fact, I have to stress that several of them were too afraid to go on camera because of the manner and the circumstances that in which Ariella was killed. There have been no arrests at this point as police again still search for the killer and also to identify a motive. Opus Lounge, where she worked for several years, releasing a statement saying in part that nightlife here in New York City has lost an angel. We're live in Inwood. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Imagine. Tonight, a mother is grieving the loss of her son after he was gunned down in Del Paso Heights just over a week ago. With no suspect in custody, she is urging other mothers to hold their children close while they still can. Fox 40's Cedric Hood has more on her story and a community leader who says the work to stop gun violence is far from over.
Well, this family is grieving the loss of 31-year-old Montre Allen, who was gunned down in a Del Paso Heights neighborhood. His mother is speaking out and sharing stories about him with us and telling us the kind of person he is. And she has one message to other mothers out there that she wants them to know. For Latasha Humphrey, the loss is still unreal.
I couldn't believe it was happening to me. About my son, he was a great kid. He didn't start nothing with nobody. He wasn't a drama person. He wasn't in no gang.
Allen was shot August 9th as he left an apartment in Del Paso Heights. According to reports, Montre was gunned down just feet away from this church.
I don't want nobody else's mother to go through the same thing because this really, really hurts.
Standing next to loved ones, she describes her son as someone who loved life and loved being with his family.
He loved to party. He loved to hang out. He always had this big old smile on his face. He was always a happy child. He was just amazing. His energy was just amazing.
Community leader Barry Axis knew Montre Allen. In fact, he was Montre's mentor. He says the loss underscores the urgency of the work still needed to stop the violence.
It's overly frustrating because this gun violence will not stop by one organization, one individual, one big speech, one change law. This is going to have to be an ample effort for everyone to be involved.
Sacramento police data shows so far this year, 31 people have been killed. That compares to 45 homicides in 2024. The numbers don't specifically represent gun violence, but they still represent dozens of families in pain.
We're just getting started, and we're going to make sure that the community helps out because Montre was such a beautiful light, a beautiful soul in this community that people should want to see his family and friends get justice. There is another child that will be fatherless. Great job, killer. Thank you. Thank you. Another fatherless child. You did your job.
No suspect has been arrested in this case at this time. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the Sacramento Police Department. You can also remain anonymous. In the meantime, the family has set up a GoFundMe account to cover funeral expenses and support Alan's young daughter. In Del Paso Heights, covering local news that matters, Cedric Hood, Fox 40 News.
Cedric, thank you.
Tragedy strikes a Milwaukee family twice in less than a year. Two sisters are now dead, one killed in a hit and run, the other surviving only to be gunned down last week. Fox 6's Bria Jones has their mother's emotional plea for answers in the latest incident. It's a story you'll only see here on Fox 6.
The streets of Milwaukee have taken so much from this family.
Martha Dunmore is processing the unthinkable. Her 3 youngest children all gone.
This is like the 3rd time I'm going to have to write an obituary for someone that's less than 25 years old.
Just days ago, she says her 23-year-old daughter, Delisha Dunmore, was shot and killed near 42nd and Hope. The devastation coming almost a year after a now convicted drunk driver who left the scene hit Delisha and ended her younger sister Talisa's life at 20.
I'm trying to be grateful for the life that I had. I could have buried 2 children back then, but now I'm burying her.
Dunmore says she's finding solace in knowing the two are reunited with her sister Leah, who died from cancer in 2019.
All my Dunmore babies, they gone.
She says Delisha was a licensed lab technician and had plans to finish nursing school after the crash.
She was a precious, precious jewel.
What did this person take from you?
Everything. It has to be a devil, a demon. Delisha had love for everybody.
Fighting back tears, she's begging for the shooter to surrender. Her only comfort, the promise of a glorious homecoming with her girls.
One day, I'll be there, and I can't wait to hold you again, gaze into their eyes.
In Milwaukee, Bria Jones, Fox 6 News.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Bria, thank you.
This
Still no word.
is 7 News at 4:30.
First at 4:30, investigators calling this duo Rolex robbers, the two accused of going on a stealing spree before getting caught. Hello again, everybody. Time's up.
Police say their greed for pricey timepieces left victims in fear for their lives. 7's Jessica Holly is live in Miami Beach with more on this crime spree. Jessica.
Police say each time their work started at the club, watching people leaving and looking for expensive watches on their wrists. Then they would follow them home and pick just the right time to make their move. This pair is out of business. Miami Beach police announcing the end of a crime spree with the arrests of 30-year-old Dwight Gustave and 41-year-old Andrea Banks.
These two individuals not only preyed on victims who were leaving nightclubs, but specifically preyed on individuals with high-end watches.
Investigators say early Sunday they followed a couple home from a Miami club. As the victims hopped out of an Uber along the Venetian Causeway in Miami Beach, they were robbed of a purse and a $200,000 watch. Neighbors hearing all about it.
It's truly incredible. You know, you wouldn't expect it in a neighborhood like this.
Police say the pair also targets visitors. Monday morning, following a couple of guys leaving Live nightclub back to their hotel in the 4000 block of Collins. As they were sitting outside, both had their watches stolen. One of them hit over the head with a gun. The victims in this case, music producers from Texas. Their pricey timepieces prominently displayed on Instagram. Police say Gustave and Banks are tied to 2 other robberies in the first weekend of August. One along the 1800 block of Collins Avenue, the other in Miami.
These two are repeat offenders. They're experienced in what they do, and they're very, very precise in who they target, exactly what they want to steal, and they execute it at any means possible.
Gustave was released from state prison in May, and both he and Banks were on probation leading up to their arrests.
We urge anyone with any information or any other victims to come forward so that we can also hold these individuals accountable for those crimes as well.
Police say when they searched Gustave's home, they found more than $170,000 in stolen valuables. If you think you were a victim, you need to reach out to Miami Beach Police or Crime Stoppers. We're live in Miami Beach. Jessica Hawley, 7 News.
First at 5, when Giovanni Pelletier went missing earlier this month, an investigation stretched 3 counties. The focal point became Manatee County, where the North Carolina teen was found dead in a pond last week. Today, Sheriff Rick Wells gave an update on what investigators know about the moments leading up to Giovanni's death. As Fox 13's Kimberly Quizon reports, cameras captured those final moments.
Investigators with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office have gone through hours of FDOT and surveillance camera footage, and Sheriff Rick Wells says what they found shows Giovanni Pelletier was alive when he got out of a car on I-75, and cell phone data confirms it.
We started to do our best to locate any movement whatsoever that would give us an indication that Giovanni was alive at that time. And we found Giovanni at about 2:18 a.m.
It's grainy footage from I-75 near State Road 70.
You can see him coming across. Here's the truck trying to avoid hitting him.
Sheriff Rick Wells says it matches the time and description of Giovanni's last known location. And this clip from the Lowe's shows Giovanni's last movements.
That's a steep embankment. He's coming down there, almost an uncontrollable sprint.
The camera doesn't show the retention pond, but that's where the path leads. It's where a family member discovered the body of the 18-year-old a week and a half ago.
There's no one in this area with Giovanni. There's no one that's chasing him. He's by himself. And what we don't know is what happened when he hit that pond. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. The death is undetermined.
Earlier this month, Giovanni was picked up by a cousin and 2 others to visit family in Brevard County. Sheriff Wells says along the way, Giovanni smoked weed and began acting out.
Giovanni was tripping, telling them, "I am a demon, and I will wreck this car," and says he will kill them all as he tries to open up the door while the car is still moving.
Wells says they eventually pulled over and Giovanni took off. Sheriff Wells says no evidence of foul play was found, and those in the car have cooperated, not just once, but multiple times.
Really, the focus right now is to see what comes back from toxicology. Is there going to be something that alerts us to another drug that we don't know about?
Toxicology reports can take months, and the Sheriff's Office has asked to expedite their request. Now, Giovanni's mother and stepfather were here today, and they did meet and talk with investigators, and they also asked for their privacy. In Manatee County, Kimberly Quizon, Fox 13 News.
2 alleged drug dealers have been arrested after a multi-months-long investigation by Scottsdale police.
Police say one of the men is a major cocaine and club drug supplier in Scottsdale. Fox 10's Lindsay Regas has more.
This is the high-end Scottsdale apartment complex where the 2 alleged drug dealers live. Now, they were both arrested on Wednesday, and their first court appearance was yesterday.
Morning, sir. Tell me your name, please. Matsamela Malloy.
Scottsdale police say 31-year-old Matsamela Zazu Malloy sold an 8-ball of cocaine to an undercover cop twice this summer. According to police paperwork, he was arrested during a traffic stop on August 13th. He had a few grams of cocaine and ketamine in his pockets. Inside his car were numerous bags of ketamine and a new designer drug called pink cocaine. Detectives found over $45,000 in his apartment, along with mushrooms, cocaine, ketamine, amphetamine pills, MDMA, and a pistol. Malloy refused to talk to detectives.
Bond is set at $250,000, $250,000.
His roommate, 26-year-old Luke Asher McConnell, was arrested at their luxury Scottsdale apartment 2 hours later. Detectives found a tackle box full of drugs inside his bedroom, including ketamine, meth, and cocaine. Some of the drugs were prepackaged in bags. Texts on his phone revealed drug transactions were made, according to police paperwork. When questioned, McConnell told police he did not know where the tackle box came from. He only admitted to selling marijuana and DMT cartridges. He says he makes $2,500 to $4,500 a week working in bars.
The bond is set at $100,000.
$34,000 worth of drugs and guns were seized in this operation. Both men are facing multiple drug sales and weapons charges. Now, if they are released on bond, they will have to wear an ankle monitor. Reporting in Scottsdale, Lindsay Regas, Fox 10 News.
Good Sunday evening to you. I'm Cheryl Mercedes. Thanks for joining us. Well, tonight, thieves get away with thousands of dollars after they follow a man from the bank. The suspects caught on camera. The victim is speaking exclusively with our Anayeli Ruiz. She joins us from Houston Police Headquarters downtown. Anayeli.
Well, the victim tells us he's disheartened and is sharing his story tonight in hope of making others aware. Tonight's surveillance video shows the moment thieves shatter the glass of Mauricio Torres' truck, and in seconds, they're gone, taking off with thousands of dollars.
Yo fui para el banco, el Wells Fargo que está en la Mercury, el I-10, el 10, como a las 9:11 de la mañana.
Torres says he went to this Wells Fargo Saturday morning to cash a check.
No sé cómo pudieron saber que yo llegué a retirar dinero y no a depositar.
He believes only the teller knew he was withdrawing cash and that she handed him the envelope.
Me lo puse a la bolsa antes de salir del banco.
Torres says he walked out of the bank with nothing visible in his hands and drove nearly 13 miles, not once sensing anyone was following him.
Desde que usted llegó y cuando sucedió, ¿como cuánto tiempo pasó?
Eso aproximadamente como unos 15, quizás 20 minutos.
Torres was working on a truck removing a part. They thought the black car belonged to another customer until they heard glass shatter. Torres rushes over, realizing something was up.
Lo alcancé a ver y le grité. Pero ya para cuando yo le grité, él quizás ya había agarrado el dinero.
Torres says he threw a tool at them, but it was too late. The thieves sped off. He ran to his truck and realized they had taken the envelope from the center console. $8,000 gone.
¿Cómo cuánto trabajo es para usted eso? ¿Cuántas horas o cuántos días de trabajo?
Muchas horas, varias semanas de trabajo. Da coraje porque a uno le cuesta ganar el dinero y se lo gana honradamente. Sí. Para que venga otro y solo lo agarre de esa manera. ¿Entiende? O sea, da coraje.
Well, Torres did file a police report. He hopes that investigators are able to track down the suspects to prevent this from happening to other people. If you have any information, you're told to contact police. Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Anayeli,
now at 11, a year after a group of armed robbers terrorized dozens of convenience stores in the Seattle area, we learned new tonight the last outstanding suspect finally behind bars. Glad you're with us. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Esteban. KOMO's Ryan Sims has been covering these robberies, Ryan, since they happened last fall. And police say this newest suspect, Ryan, was he just 17 years old at the time?
17 years old at the times of these alleged crimes by him. He's now an adult, meaning he will be facing and is facing 10 counts of felonies with regard to robbery, all as other members, alleged members of his group, have been behind bars since last fall. Is the end finally here for one of Western Washington's most vicious, most violent band of robbers? Cops say that is the hope now that the final suspect is in custody.
They would find convenience stores that had multiple people in them and then hold everyone in the store at gunpoint, demanding purses, wallets, and phones.
All right, looks like they're going to blow another red light here.
KOMO has reported on these savage bandits for nearly a year and just a few weeks last fall. Cops say they were responsible for 78 carjackings and armed robberies across the Seattle area, many of them at convenience stores.
The longer these went on, the more aggression we saw from these suspects. They started with just pointing firearms, and then as it led to shots fired.
While 4 of the teen suspects were nabbed last October, police say a 5th one remained out there until now. According to police, he was arrested outside a South Seattle trade school and now faces several charges of first-degree robbery. All of it as Seattle's former interim police chief insisted more needed to be done to hold violent juveniles accountable.
We still have to deal with the fallout when kids with poor decision-making skills are highly armed and they're literally out of control.
In one case, cops say this terrorizing band of criminals robbed every single customer inside a convenience store.
And talking about the suspect who was just arrested a few days ago, when police caught up with him, they say he ran away and had the help of 2 others. Those 3 people, the suspect and his 2 friends, were, of course, arrested. Police say one of those friends had a ghost gun at the time of the arrest. Coming to you live from Seattle tonight, Ryan Sims, Calmo News.
Sacramento deputies are now searching for the gunman who critically injured somebody.
This is happening in a South Sacramento neighborhood off of 39th Street, north of 39th Avenue. The sheriff's office says the person was shot several times. KCRA 3's Carolina Estrada joins us live now from that area. What have you been able to learn?
Edie, we know the man that was shot right now is fighting for his life at the hospital. He's in critical conditioning, according to what deputies tell us. Out here in South Sacramento, we are right now on 39th Street and Mascot Avenue. This is where it all unfolded, where the shooting happened and has now turned into a crime scene. Let me give you a look at what we're seeing out here. First, I want to draw your attention to that tree that you see there where the deputies are all surrounded. That's the area where they have been focusing their investigation. That's because that's where the man was walking minutes before he was shot. That's where that shooting took place, and deputies tell us they have found several shell casings here in the area. Actually, if you take a look over on the side of the road here, you can see some green markers there on the ground. Those are marking where the shell casings have been found so far. Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies tell us they found at least a dozen shell casings. Now, what do we know exactly about what unfolded out here today? So we know several calls came in at around 4:30 from neighbors reporting sounds of a shooting, and when deputies arrived, they found a man with several gunshot wounds to the arm and the torso area. That's when he was taken to the hospital. However, Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies tell us they weren't able to talk to the man before he was taken to the hospital because he was unconscious. Now they're out here gathering evidence, photographing the scene, trying to piece together exactly what unfolded. We spoke to some neighbors that are out here. As you can see, it's a very residential area. They tell us they heard at least 3 gunshots fired, and that's when they called 911. Now, it is unknown if this man lives in this area, but they are talking to witnesses that were here at the time when all of this happened, trying to piece together exactly what unfolded right now. But again, what we know is that man right now at the hospital fighting for his life in critical condition as investigators are out here gathering information to piece together what happened. Now, no information about a suspect or suspect has been released so far, but of course, we'll continue to follow this story and bring you the latest. Live in Sacramento County, Carolina Estrada, KCRA 3 News.
Carolina, thank you.
The man facing charges for allegedly killing a 5-year-old boy whose body was found in Panorama City pleaded not guilty today.
Bail for Brixton Malik Gaddis is $2 million. Investigators say Elijah Hearn was found last month in a parking lot in or near a trash bin. He had suffered massive injuries. Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay here now with new video and details that we have uncovered today. Sophie?
Mark, Michelle, this is a deeply disturbing story. We saw that alleged killer in court today, but for the first time, we're seeing surveillance video from that deadly night. The man accused of killing 5-year-old Elijah Hearn pleading not guilty in a Van Nuys courtroom today. 20-year-old Bryson Malik Gaddis, the ex-boyfriend of Elijah's mother, talking to his attorney through the door. He's accused of killing the boy last month and disposing of his body in a dumpster. New surveillance video obtained by Eyewitness News shows a man and a woman in Panorama City the night the child was killed on Titus Street, the same street where he was found the next day. One person holding something or someone wrapped in a blanket.
You can see a head and small feet dangling.
Yusuf Rabadi is the owner of E&J Liquor and Market, which backs up to Titus Street. He says a security guard in the area sent him this video. An LAPD search warrant of Gaddis's apartment describes similar footage they've reviewed. It says the victim was wrapped in a multicolored blanket in which he was later found deceased. Bryson was accompanied by Camilla Hearn, the boy's mother. The warrant also says initial indications of blood were found in the bathroom sink, drain, and backsplash, and inside a tote bag on the bed found in that apartment.
Some of my customers, they are the neighbors of the child. And they know that that baby was neglected and abused. So it had been going on for a long time, and people saw something and didn't say anything. So that's why I took the liberty of posting that video.
Bail for Gaddis stands at $2 million. Hearn was questioned by police, but ultimately released. And things got heated outside the Van Nuys courthouse today. After the hearing, the grandfather of Elijah Hearn pulled out a gun in the parking lot. I spoke to him on the phone after that moment. He says his daughter, Elijah's mother, was being threatened. He says he didn't point it at anyone. He used the presence of the gun as a way to tell them to get away.